Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Custom Cap Collectors episode 22. Very excited to have a good sized panel. So we got 5 of our 6 members. Someone else had Girl Scout duty tonight, so no Paco. Very excited to have Levi, who I accidentally said we were going to have on like a month ago, and then Levi's like, "What?" And but he's here, so we got it to work. We got it to work. The funny thing was, Levi, is like I'm making the slides for you, just some background for your Clink stuff, and I'm like, holy cow! Like 80% of his stuff is with Wes. I probably should have had him both on at the same time. So I shot Wes a message and I said, look, I just realized like I probably should have invited you simultaneously. Like if you want to join, you can, but if not, we can, there'll be another opportunity. And he's like, I'm busy tonight. So yeah, maybe some other time. So he's like, I'll watch it later, but he's like, I can't be on. So, but we're happy to have one half of the Levi and Wes duo, but Levi also has some of his own stuff. So welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
First, we'll go around, and what we usually do is show off what you're wearing, and then the hat swapping begins as the show goes on. So, in particular, Aaron is a master of wearing 20 hats during the course of the show, which I don't even notice sometimes. And later, he's like, "Did you catch it? I wore 13 hats." So we'll go counterclockwise since we'll put Levi on the spot. Let's Glenn, let's jump to you. What you got on your head today?
You already know what I got. The best Levi hat. This one is awesome. The man himself is wearing this design. This is a great one.
Excellent.
As usual, ignore the cat hair.
I was just gonna say, actually, that's the cleanest visor I've seen you have in a minute.
And that's also in my collection. I have a real weakness for cryptids, so already I was vibing. Levi hits one of my sweet spots, which is the cryptid. So, Aaron, what you got today?
I am rocking Jellyfish Bloom by Levi and Creaturezoid.
Oh, that's a great one.
Simple coloring, but just gorgeous. I mean, it lights up, and that UV. I mean, everything about it is just gorgeous. Glad to have a chance to rock this one.
You guys are taking all my Levi hats. So I also got this one, and this, attention Taylor, if you watch this screams fresh colorway to Matt. Like I think this could go a lot of fun places with some recolor. I'd love to see that happen. So hint. All right, what you got, Adam? What you got?
I guess we're going ladies last then, huh? All right, no worries.
Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise.
So iced out, as you said, cryptids to you guys is like bears to me. So obviously I had to cop, especially a polar bear. Nice. The geometry of it came out really nice, very clear. And Matthew, you'll know it's legible from 500 feet away. So, and then just a super clean colorway, navy blue, gray, and then a icy blue under. So it's a clean one.
And is it 3D stitching? Does that really pop off the crown, or is it more of a flat stitch?
This one, so this one's interesting. So I probably can't get it on camera, but like there's a small indent here. So like his eyes, this it's almost like a Y. This is separate from this. This is more flat, and from his eyes to his nose is raised.
So the snout in the front of the face is elevated.
See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So from that angle, he looks pretty pissed, and then here he's chilling. No, it looks good. It's crazy clean, and I think that geometry stuff, like Diamond Kong came out really well, but it can get a little wonky, so you really have to do it right. So as you can see, like how clear it is from like far away too. So it's a really good one.
Yeah, it looks great.
And Jesse, I'm glad you got power at your house with the big storm hitting.
I actually got caught in the worst of the storm. I was coming home from the pool and thinking, well, maybe I should go into work, or maybe I should go to the grocery while I can. And then this wall of like water going horizontally came at me. Went home. But I have this, and I am sorry to say I do think of it as the Chewbacca hat. But yeah, so gray, and we'll ignore my bangs. There we go. But yeah, I got this as a dead stock. It didn't. I wasn't like, ooh, Yeti. And then when it came out, it was like, oh, that's really nice. And then I started connecting the dots of like, that really does look like Chewbacca. And I'm a Star Wars girly, so I had to get it. And I do like it. Whether it's a Yeti or a Chewbacca, I don't care. It's great art, and I really like it.
Are you getting any accumulation up there in Virginia?
No, just there's every now and then there's a big gust of wind, but not like this morning. There was like this 15-minute like terror, and I was driving through half of it, and then it was like sunshine. and then some more rain, but just mild. So I'm like, I'm so grateful. They were talking about a repeat of a derecho, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. No, thank you.
Our
Can't
West
blame
Coast people know about those derechos.
I don't even know what that word is.
Oh no, it's a Spanish
It's
word.
It's
It's a
a
Spanish word.
hurricane, basically, that originates inland.
Yeah,
So
nothing like that here.
yeah,
So my aunt who lives in San Diego, she talks about not a derecho, but the Santa Ana winds, which are a regular thing in San Antonio or
For sure.
San Diego.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And then want to shout out to Drinking Nature and my name twin, the other Matt, that's a Clink fan. So Bushel of Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. We will talk a little bit about virtual shopping. So I did one this weekend as well, and so we'll hit on that in a minute. And now it's Levi's big moment. What are you sporting?
Well, Glenn already kind of stole it, but it's all
Yeah.
good. Got the Jersey Devil. I think Jersey Legend is what we named it. But this one was one of the first ones I did with Wes. I don't remember if it was the first, but it definitely was one of the first 3 or 4. So Wes was really into like the wood carving type designs. Like he would kind of do that on his own. And so when he showed me kind of one of his wood carving sketches of this, and then we basically I mocked it up for him, and Clink killed it. I love how they did the white embroidery on it. I think it makes it pop super well.
It really does.
But my favorite, well, I mean, the logo is my favorite, but my second favorite is a good green under. So I love
that's the
everything
best.
about this hat.
It's
Yeah.
green.
Yeah.
It's green.
Yeah, good green. Kelly green. I mean, to me, Kelly green is, I mean, it's undefeated, right? But I
agree.
like classic old school with my fitteds. So I don't know. It's just a good everyday wear. And logos, I love the menacing look we achieved of it. And yeah, but I appreciate all you guys for copping, some of my stuff. And
You guys already
appreciate
showed
the
3 of my 4. But I will say, I appreciate you talking about the wood cut, because it does seem kind of like late Middle Ages woodcut print work. And
yeah, like wood cut, lino cut. So Wes did some screen printing for a while. So he would do like the lino cut type designs. And so a lot of our early stuff was shit he had already like mocked up doing something completely different art style wise. And he's just like, hey, think you could turn this into a Clink design? I'm like, yeah, give me some time with it, and we made it work. And that's kind of how, I mean, me and Wes go way back, but that's kind of how our collaborative, team started up. And then he fell in love with Clink like we all do, and now he's churning them out like butter,
For folks that have never seen this in person, one thing I would say, like I'm a huge fan of the 3D stitching. Like I love it when it has like height, depth to it. One of the things that is kind of hard to pick up, but like the hind leg that's on the front, it's definitely taller, and the arm and shoulder that's like closer to the viewpoint is also thicker. So if you do have it in hand, you take a look at it, it definitely has that kind of 3D effect property going on with it. And I love the fact that it's a woodcut. Like I'd love to see us do another stained glass type Clink again, I think we've had one, maybe only one that's gotten to the shop. I think stained glass would be
Has
cool.
one made it through?
Not that I can remember.
There is one, because I've been cataloging all of the designs, and there was one hat that had a sort of a stained glass look to it, but it wasn't spectacular, to be frank.
Yeah.
But it definitely had that kind of. I'll look it up later and send it to you after the show. So
I've been trying, man, with Creature and West. I've submitted, I think, at least three different types of stained glass designs, but they don't hit. I need to do better. I need to do better is the correct answer there.
So I am wearing a non-clink hat to start the show because I'm going all green for St. Patrick's Day, and I am a huge I'm a Tigers fan, and this is a special project. Topper Store came out with this. Now, of course, the English D is something we've seen on thousands of hats. It's not new at all. And yes, my D is backwards. We need to flip that camera around, don't we? Let's, there we go. That's the correct orientation. But they rolled out something they're calling Project X, and they're doing these traditional letter hats, but with extra art. And if you've ever been to Tiger Stadium, Comerica Park, Comerica Park, there are these, I think there's like 8 giant sculpted tigers around the ballpark. It's really cool. And they sort of took some inspiration from this. And so they built these like tigers kind of either scaling the wall or we're looking down. I just love this thing. And to me, it brings a flavor of like some of the custom cap stuff that we love from Clink. I don't know if anyone else, I don't even know that if anyone else, because Toppers has done like this now in 4 different colorways. But as far as I know, they're the only one that has the intellectual rights to do it. And so my Levi hat, the only one that hasn't been shown off is this one, which is Camp Stories, and very, very much has a 3D effect. So if you kind of look at it, you can see the white, both smoke / ghosts are definitely thicker. And I believe I already shared this on one of my hats of the day. And I talked about growing up as a kid. I grew up in a family that did a lot of camping, and remember we moved. We were out there doing deer camp, and my dad and grandpa and whatever person was deer camping with us that year, they were sitting around and they were telling bear stories. Well, I knew a guy, a bear ripped up his pickup truck, like smelled food in there. And so like, I'm a kid, I'm like, I'm getting tired, but they're telling all these stories. And then like, I was finally like, I just can't stay up anymore. So I like went back to get in the tent, but I was sure that every sound I heard outside the tent was a bear ready to come like tear me up. And so I was like both exhausted and alarmed at the same time. I was like existing in this like the state of a quantum state of fear, I guess. But obviously, I live to tell about it. So Camp Stories. Nothing better than camping and hearing old timers tell stories and stuff like that. So I'm gonna switch. So we'll be doing the Camp Stories the rest of the way. But all right. So welcome, Wes, and let's get our presentation up here and do some show and tell. All right. All right. So
it was jacked.
I was going to say, I had a choice between the one where he's like a little more dressed up and it says nerd, or the one where he's like, I'm a ripped gym bro. So I went with the ripped gym bro.
Appreciate that.
On Clink's site, it says you're from Elkhorn, Nebraska, which I looked up, and that's kind of the far western burbs of Omaha, I think, if that's fair.
Yeah, it's basically Omaha.
But your Sandhill rejects, which we will have a slide just for that, but it features this famous point out west, and that's in far western Nebraska. Is that where you're from originally?
Yeah, so that's out in the Panhandle. By Baird, Nebraska. So I grew up in Sydney. So Sydney is clear. It's like on the Panhandle. It's 30 minutes from, not even 30 minutes. It's like 20 minutes from Colorado. So I grew up there. So Chimney Rock is what you're seeing right there.
Yep.
Which is obviously famous for, being on the Oregon Trail and all that. I mean, all the schools we played around there and football and wrestling, all that stuff. I mean, you would pass by Chimney Rock all the time. So it's a pretty common monument you pass out there. It's very popular for, motorcyclists to ride out that route and whatnot. But yeah, I got a lot of love for my Western Nebraska heritage. I don't really go back, but I appreciate, where I'm from. But with that design, it took me back to my childhood so much. And I didn't realize until after I made it, I was like, dude, I haven't seen Chimney Rock for over 20 years. And I would see it once a month growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those throwback things that just takes you back to your childhood. And that just took me back to mine. But yeah, that's Western Nebraska. It's all flat. And that's our mountain right there of Western Nebraska. That's Big Bear. That's Big Bear of Nebraska.
So
but yeah, Panhandle, Oregon Trail vibes, all that. And I threw some sandhill cranes in there, which doesn't necessarily technically, sandhill cranes, I don't think migrate clear to Western Nebraska. They're more in central. But still, I just wanted to throw in that Nebraska vibe with it. And then obviously the windmill and the grass and all that. But it didn't make it, unfortunately, through crits. I'm always in that 30 purgatory, that 30 to 33, which I call it purgatory, because you live there, but you're not going up or down. You're just there.
that's where you
The bridesmaid zone.
You have to get Aaron to call Casey and be like, "This has to go in."
It's all good.
I'm only good for getting color changes back to what they were.
But hey, if you like the design, Sandals Rejects, we threw it on a shirt. It's our best-selling shirt.
Nice.
Turned out great. Okay. Mm-hmm. We got it on a hoodie too. So, So the cool thing, and I just made a print for it for my mom for her birthday, hang on the wall. I ordered them for my family and shit. So, and I got a lot of, love from back home, people back home ordering it. So I appreciate everyone who supports it either way. And yeah.
So just to put my spotlight on myself for a second. So I've been out there. So this is my map. I'm trying to visit every U.S. county before I die. Brown states, all the counties are complete. But we went out this way. We cut across, went to Badlands and Mount Rushmore, and we dropped down and went past some ghost towns out there where the railroad used to stop and donate. There was like a water tank, and it's now just a ghost town. And we went through Scotts Bluff. So I don't know if we actually saw that, but we were through Scotts Bluff, and I got to say, it was really interesting. As someone who grew up east of the Mississippi, has never lived west of the Mississippi, it kind of grew on me. So I'm looking forward. I'll go back out there someday. I got to collect all the rest of Nebraska. So I got all the Dakotas to do pretty much. But
so you were about 30 minutes away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I might be the only other panelist who's been near where you grew up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty desolate out there.
It's very empty. It is. I remember at one point, we drive a hybrid, so we don't have to get gas very often. And I was thankful that we didn't need to fill up. So some long stretches. So far, you've had 21 Clean Cats either shipped or they're in production or they're in the shop right now. So I know I personally have been very disappointed for a couple of your hats. But you've also had quite a few go in. And so themes for you, we've got nature, cryptids, horror, kind of scary, conceptual concepts, and then collab partners. And so we were chatting a little bit about this before. Tell us in particular, Wes, I joked is like a collab for about 80%, but tell us a little bit about how you and Wes met and how you started working together, and how does that work? Are you both drawers, or does one person the idea man, or how's that work?
Yeah, so me and Wes, we've been boys for at least like 10 to 15 years. I met him when I lived in Lincoln back in college days. We worked at Cabela's, the bank that was in Lincoln. And I just met him through work and, became friends at work and stayed in touch. And he always followed, my social media stuff, and he would, like my designs and all that. And eventually, and Wes is super artistic if you can't tell, but it's pretty obvious. But he did a lot of other stuff, screen printing. I mean, he's been in photography. I mean, he was doing stained glass stuff. He's doing leather work now, like super creative, super artistic dude. And one day he just reached out, and I can't remember, it might have been his stained glass wolf. I'm trying to think of our first one. I feel like that might have been it. And he actually had the stained glass wolf. He sent me a picture of it. He made it for his dad. His dad loves wolves. And he's like, hey, do you think you can make this into a clink room design? I was like, I can sure fucking try, you know? And I spent the weekend fucking around with it and churned it out. I think it's pretty cool. And we've done several iterations of that wolf. We finally got it through. But yeah, and then it just kind of grew from there. He, like I said, our Jersey Devil, the Bigfoot, or Chewbacca, whatever you want to call it. It's whatever you want it to be. Those were all kind of some of his like wood carving, lino cut designs. Rhinelander was kind of like a lino cut design. And so when we first started, we kind of leaned into the cryptids and that lino cut style, and had a lot of success with that. And then we just started new shit, and he got into kind of not relying on me as much for, you know, the vectoring and the Procreate. So I started teaching him, you know, hey, get Procreate, start sketching on there. And then I, you know, started teaching him how to vector through Illustrator and all that. And then he just started doing a lot of work himself and would send me stuff like kind of halfway through and be like, what do you think? And, you know, I would, you know, say, you know, add this, take this out, make this thicker, less detail here, you know, whatever. Sometimes he'd pass it to me, I'd work on it, and vice versa. You know, I'd be working with something and send it to him. And then you can tell with Wes, which is just like me, and I see it now with a lot of other designers, whenever you get into it and you realize that you can do it, you get this insane itch that you just have to scratch constantly. Your head is just clink designs 24/7. You're just thinking of concepts. Everywhere you look, you're like, oh, fuck, write that down. Oh, fuck, write that down. Yeah. And you got a list like 100 deep of all these crazy concepts. I go back and look at them like, I don't even know what that means. But but Wes is kind of there right now, and life's been pretty hectic for me this past year. So he's kind of been carrying the torch a lot for us lately. I've been a lot more on the conceptual side, you know, and he's been doing a lot more of the artwork. And I always wonder if people can tell which one's more heavily my art and which one's more heavily his. Me and him can definitely tell, but a lot of times it's just about meeting in the middle. You know what I mean? And you have to have a good person.
We should have a future game show where we put it up and we have to vote whether we think it's Wes or it's you, and then you can be like, no, you're wrong, you're wrong.
But the part we were talking about earlier is our go-to whenever we finally agree with the other person's design or the design we're doing, and we've got it to where we want it. So there's a popular GIF out there. So if you know Wes at all, he's got this weird fascination with Jeff Goldblum. I don't know where it came from. Jeff Goldblum, I mean, he's an awesome actor. We all love Jeff Goldblum, right? But like we've been in a fantasy football league, a dynasty league, since I've known him, basically. And he's Two Fly Jeff Goldblum, which is a lyric from what's his name? Glover, the rapper. Adam, help me out.
What?
Sweatpants. You know the song Sweatpants? Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino. The song.
That's it. Yep.
He says, "Too fly, Jeff Goldblum." Anyway, good song. Listen.
You said Danny Glover, so I thought you got.
Yeah, Glover's son or whatever. Anyway, so his fascination with Jeff Goldblum. So whenever we come to an agreement that it's where it needs to be, then one of us will send the GIF of Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park where he says, "Well, there it is." So, yep, or there it is. So whenever we get the "well, there it is," or we just say, "Is it Goldblum?" You know, or we would say, "I'm not moving forward unless it's Goldblum." So when we get the Goldblum, then we got the green light. Then we submit that shit. So
I remember seeing an interview where George Lucas was talking about when he would come in with a conceptual artists were doing perspective spaceships and critters for Star Wars movies. And I forget, he has like a X or a stamp or something. And when you got the like George Lucas like stamp, that meant like, yes, it's a good, it's going in the movie.
Send it. Yeah.
That's yours. You're the Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, we're in Jeff Goldblum. And that just kind of naturally, I mean, that's what it's about, man. Finding a good friend and collaborating, and not, because then you don't take things personally. Like, you can just speak, like, sometimes when you're collaborating with someone, you feel like you're going to upset them if you tell them, I don't like this or whatnot. And that's what I love about working with Wes and the people that I have collaborated with is, you know, it's no hurt feelings, and it's like honest, like, hey, dude, I like where you're going, like, keep leaning into it, but it kind of looks like this. And then you're just like, oh shit, it does kind of look like this, you know? So you're never going to hurt someone's feelings, you know, when you're trying to get a design right. And if you are hurting their feelings, then, you know, maybe you guys scratch it and come back to it later. You know, maybe there's nothing wrong with that either.
Well, as I mentioned, there's one in the shop right now for Levi, but this one's not with Wes, right? If I remember correct, this is Milos, is that right?
This is Milos. This would be my, this was probably one of my first 5 designs ever. This was before.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So this one, I reached out to Milos for my very first concept, which was the purple tape, which is now mixtape gold.
Oh,
that went into
nice.
production. And then I started sketching shortly after that and learning Illustrator and all that. But so I originally started with Bulls on Parade, right? Rage Against the Machine. And if you go clear back, it should be on my Instagram unless it got taken off, but it should be on there. We tried doing I think we called it Parade Bull. So it's kind of a take on Bulls on Parade. But there's obviously a lot of political undertone to that song. So we kind of focused on the Parade Bull part of it and the roses. And we tried doing kind of like, we kind of tried to lean into, remember Jacobo's Mexican flag with all the roses in the embroidery? So we're trying to accomplish that. We made a bull, and it was snorting out roses instead of steam. I don't know if you guys remember. This was a throwback. This was back in the day of crits. There was only 10 crits instead of 20.
I don't remember that early. No.
Okay, yeah. So
I remember the design you're talking about. I just don't remember that earliest version.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like the bull's design a little bit because it had the snorting, you know. So I waited like a year. I don't know if you guys remember on Instagram stories, I had a thing like a year or two back where I was like, hey, which design would you like to see get another shot? And I did like kind of a bracket each day.
Oh, yeah.
And the Rose Bowl or Parade Bowl at that time, like, won overwhelmingly. So I said, hey, Milos, I was like, do you mind sending, you know, me the AI, the Illustrator file for it? Because I wanted to fuck with it. And so he sent it over to me. And my main goal was to simplify it because I thought it was way too. And I reached out to Casey actually prior to that. I said, hey, is this too much like the Bulls design? Or like people love this? Like, what should we do? And he's like, simplify. So I took kind of what he had already created and I did some, you know, mad scientist shit with it and moved. I enlarged one of the roses and moved it up to the top of the horn, just like it is there, and sent it back to Milos. And he's like, hell yeah, dude. And I was like, hell yeah. And we sent it to Casey. And like 2 years later, so he took it right away, you know, and but it kind of got lost in the shuffle. And so I just happened to reach out to Casey and I was like, hey, dude, just wondering, like, do you like still have the file and all that stuff? Or, and he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, remember the Rose Bowl? And he's like, oh, and he's like, shit, I don't remember. He's like, send it over. And I sent it over. He's like, oh, shit, I must have forgot to save it or something. I was like, that's all good. He's like, shit, I'll send it right now, you know, and he put it straight to the shop at that point. So, but yeah, this one's a early one for me. I love it too.
So
I love
that's
this one. Yeah.
And that's a really good point that you're making too, that sometimes it's worth reaching out to, you know, if it's been that long, sometimes it's worth reaching out to say, hey, whatever happened to that one? You told me you loved it before, you know, what's going on with it? You never know. You know, the worst he's going to say is, I forgot, or yeah, it's not going to work. Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And
good for you.
Don't take it
for
personally.
making the reach out. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm scrolling back through your Instagram today, and I just want to encourage you to push this because I love Mount Rushmore of monsters, and Jesse's local team is already doing a whole like team of sort of cute but slightly horror themes. This is fantastic. I would absolutely buy this as a hat. It's like both like a reference to a famous American viewpoint, but also like classic horror. It's fantastic. So if I don't remember seeing this in crits. Maybe it was way before. I don't know, but call Casey about this one too.
So very, very similar story to this one. So this one I did with
With
When
with Win, and same type deal. So we did the first version, and it was
Okay.
it had like in a circle design with the sun in the background, and it didn't make it through crits. And I was told Win after it'd been a few months, and I was like, dude, I love that one. I said, send me the file. Do you care if I mess with it? He sent it over. I went into it with the same thing: simplify, make it bigger, make it chunkier, make it better for embroidery. And I came up with this part of it. I simplified it and made it so I can enlarge it better. So I was just thinking embroidery the whole way. And then we resubmitted it, and I completely forgot about this dude. And he messaged me like the next day. He's like, we're in, dude. It's in the queue. So, but that's been like a year. I forgot. I
so
forgot.
this is in queue purgatory, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I forgot about it, so I probably do need to reach out. I figured we were going to
Yes,
meet around
yes.
the Halloween time, so I didn't say anything.
That's good news.
Yeah. Probably
yeah.
like September.
I completely forgot about that, so I appreciate you bringing that up.
All right.
Nice one, Matt.
All
There
right.
you go.
Because I mean, this is not the first time we have heard Casey go, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's he's a busy man." I mean,
Yeah.
I have enough trouble keeping track of stuff in my life without keeping track of 100 different cue designs. So I get it. I'm an ADHD person. I easily lose track of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, please send
That's
him a
great news.
message. Just hey, checking in. What's up with that?
I'm just excited at the idea that it's got life, So that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping here that you're going to say the Doberman is in the queue too. Any chance of that?
Unfortunately, none of these are in the queue. These all landed in voting crits purgatory, all in the 30s. I don't think they ever reached 35.
I would buy every one of these on a hat.
And that my Watchdog,
everyone.
which I ended up naming that one Loyal Guardian, I kind of leaned away from the Watchdog because I had done like 3 or 4 versions of the Watchdog. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Drop the fucking watch, lean into just my Dobie, And so once again, I thought simplify, big, chunky parts that can embroider well. I loved using the graphite against the black. And so it's kind of, it's stoic. I talked to Adam about this. My Doberman was my boy, and I didn't want to portray him as mean and aggressive because he wasn't. He was a beautiful dog, and I had to, as we all do with those, certain breeds, you get thrown into a category just because you have one, and people walk on the other side of the street and all that shit, and so. I didn't want to lean into the ferocious because he wasn't ferocious. He was a great, loving companion. But, he's stoic looking, and they're just, they're handsome, beautiful dogs. They look, I don't want to say they have a mean look, but I mean, it's not, mean's not the right word.
You're trying to say that the dog has resting bitch face, but he's really
yeah. There we go.
Right?
Yeah,
they're intimidating. I think intimidating is a fair.
Yeah, I think intimidating is an okay way to go with it. So it's an intimidating, hat dog design, but it's not ferocious like killer dog.
I think this is an Adam moment here. Adam, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, well, I liked the previous 3 watts. I thought that was clever, and the +1 worked, and especially as it relates to embroidery, I thought the like kind of the aspects of all the different watches would have worked really cool. And I also think that in addition to his posture and his look and everything, I thought what that did was, obviously it was a punny name, but putting elements of like the watch in it actually alleviated kind of that intimidation too, and made it more approachable and fun. So well, I mean, Levi and I have talked about this one a lot. I think it may have been, one of our first conversations, if not our first, about talking about it and everything. Because I remember we talked through like every version, and Levi, you could tell them. I don't know where we are yet. If you feel like we gonna work on another version of this or what?
Yeah, it's in the mix. I always feel bad because Adam's my boy, and I feel like I put him on the back burner a lot. We got a few designs we need to work on, or I need to work on. Yeah, I don't know if people are getting Doberman fatigue from me with these designs. So I haven't reached out to Adam yet, but I did my boxer design as well, and I was going to talk to him about maybe leaning more into a boxer. But I would love to have a Doberman hat made that I was responsible for. But yeah, Adam, I don't know if I want to give away the style and everything we talked about, but
oh yeah, no, for sure.
Adam's got some great ideas for it, and it's definitely something I want to do. I think I gotta wait a little bit because I'm just worried people have Doberman fatigue with me. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
But
I think
it's coming up.
I think the good thing is that our theme is ours is so wildly different in a sense that I hear you, and then I think we'll be all right. But yeah, if you want to wait for sure, that's cool too. But we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna do something a little different so that no one can dare say they've had fatigue with it for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice remix, and honestly, I just need to get to sketching on it. And that's what I've been trying to get back into, is just straight up sketching and just sketching it into a design. I've kind of leaned into just my artwork without thinking like, okay, I need to do this for Clink specifically. Like, I want to draw something dope and then find a way to vector it,
Yeah, I wanted to. I've talked a lot, so I wanted to toss here to Glenn and Jesse, and if Aaron has a question, if he's listening. But you got it. You have any questions you want to toss out here for Levi?
I'm not a design. I'm a design appreciator. I do not have the soul of an artist, so I'm just happy to be here.
Well, I know we're on the snubs. The only
Well, since he got cut out, I really loved the sardine one, and I wish it had been made. I still wish it had been made.
Hey, you can get it on a shirt.
I know, but I don't really wear t-shirts.
Hey, we got it on a hoodie.
I think we were all disappointed that the sardine can didn't make it. That's such a good one.
What about a lab coat? Do you wear lab coats at work, Jesse?
Oh gosh. Once in a blue moon, I do actually bring out the lab coat.
Some good color contrast on a lab coat. I'm telling you right there. Aaron, did you have any questions for Levi?
I was just gonna actually I wanted to talk about a couple of designs that are already in the shop and in production. So if you've got a slide for that, I'll wait. Otherwise, I can throw it out now if you want. Okay, so you've got some designs that are coming that I'm just jacked for, and one of them is Positively Toxic, and I thought that hat would look fantastic on the yellow crown. Even though I know that yellow just seems like it just brings down a vote. I don't know what it is about yellow crowns, but people just don't like them. But what was your feeling on Positively Toxic in the sense of it going to that? What is it, a chrome crown now? I mean, I still think it looks great, but the yellow just really hit. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, so yellow and chrome both kind of are no-nos when it comes to voting, but I've gotten to the point where I don't fucking care. Like, I'm gonna put it what I like and what I think looks good and looks clean. And if people vote for it, they vote for it. It's about doing what makes you happy and not trying to make other people happy. Right. But gotcha. that one was a heavy Wes influenced piece. And it's completely awesome. He told me, what he was thinking about doing, and, he sent it over, and, I basically just gave him pointers and helped him through the process on that one. And then when we got to the colorway, Wes has been trying to do a yellow hat since we started doing this. He's been trying to get that in. And most of the time I'm like, no, dude, it doesn't work. No, like knock it off. But with that one, he threw me he threw me some colorways, and the yellow one, I was like, yeah, the yellow works. I loved it on yellow.
Yeah, it gave it oddly enough, it somehow gave it a more sinister feel. I don't even know how to, explain that, but to me, it evoked a different emotion, when it was yellow than when it was in this version. I still was, thrilled to see it make it through on the different color. I'm glad it's making it, but I just felt like it had a different feel, when it was that yellow. And the same can be said for what's the other one, for the lunar melt. And lunar melt was one that I was really behind, but when I remember when it first hit the shop, the colorway was changed, including the color of the wolf, and that drove me insane. So I got on buy sell trade and raised some hell, and it got changed back, thankfully. So I don't know how much I had to do with it, but I was glad for it to get back to that original color.
Yeah, I can't remember what the color they changed it to, but it took away the whole night.
It was brown. Yeah, it was brown.
It was brown. Yeah. So that one, so I normally try not to, I don't really get too worked up with colorway changes, and I won't complain about it, but that one, I was like, okay, this doesn't work, it just, it just took away the entire, obviously it's a night vibe, so it just completely washed that out. So the fact that people did speak up for it and got it changed, I was very, very thankful that happened. And I love the colorway they chose with the black and the brown and a good gray. Like I said, green's my favorite UV, and gray's the next one. That might even be a darker gray, but no.
The wolf had to be blue. That was that was the thing that set me over the edge, was, once it changed away from the blue, and I'm like, no way, it's got to be back to the blue. It's just because it's got such an art vibe to it, that the change away to a neutral color just didn't have the feel at all.
Yeah, and that's when Wes started doing the drip. So we kind of started out with the lino cut, the wood carving, and then Wes kind of started leaning to the drip. And so I was like, let's keep doing some drip for a while. And this one's crazy because this all started from his stained glass wolf. So I did.
Please tell me there was an email between the two of you that said drip more.
Drip more. There was no email, unfortunately.
So speaking of emails, I did have one question with your collab with Milos. Which one of you sent the Jeff Goldblum to the other one?
On the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Well, there was no Milos, but he gave me the Milos is, remind me what country he lives in.
I think Croatia.
Serbia.
Is it Croatia?
Serbia, yeah.
Serbia. So whichever big actor is from Serbia, I mean, I'm sure that gif, he basically gave me the gif of that.
Gotcha.
I don't know the actor, but it was probably Jokic, Nikola Jokic.
Wasn't me?
Yeah.
Wasn't the LA Lake? Oh well, I'm dating myself. Anyways, Vlade Divac. Was it
Vlade Divac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he Serbian? I don't remember.
I don't think so. But Milos is a funny dude. If you sent him that Jeff Goldblum gif, he sure as hell would not throw a laugh at it. He definitely, because I've tried some shit with him with pop culture gifs, and that dude is just like, yeah, whatever you say, bro. There's definitely a barrier, but I love it. Keep things interesting.
Oh yeah, when we did a Purple Tape together, I was like, it's all based off Wu-Tang. It's based off Raekwon's album, Purple Tape. Yeah. And I was like, I actually pitched him something else, and I just was driving, listening to the Raekwon album, and I went to the gym and I messaged him like, dude, I got an idea, and because it's his album's only built for Cuban links, and the tape was the purple tape. So it's known on the streets as the purple tape, but the real album name is Only Built for Cuban Links. So I was like, the Cuban link chain, you know, is the tape, and the tape is translucent purple. It just all came together, and it's just like one of those light bulb moments, right? And I was like, yeah, it's Wu-Tang. He had no idea who the fuck I was talking about. And I was like Wu-Tang Clan, man. I was like, I thought everyone in the world, I mean, Wu-Tang's
right
around the globe. And so I was kind of blown away. I figured Wu-Tang, you know, had roots everywhere, but, you know, he's like, no, I don't know fucking Wu-Tang, but the concept is dope. Let's do it, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah, this
Well, I'll
totally
tell you
made
one
Paco's
person. Yeah,
dream.
Paco went crazy. Paco went
I
crazy
remember.
when he saw this. Yeah,
Yeah.
he loves this.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah.
loves it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one, like, this one's my baby. I mean, this was my first like concept that like hit me, and I was like so proud of it, and me did like exactly what was in my brain, and like I can't wait to have this and have my purple Wu-Tang t-shirt on and fucking wear it every goddamn day.
You hope you got two.
And Glenn, did you have any questions for our guest?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
I
He
just want to
definitely-
say that I do love his work. I have 3, maybe 4 on pre-order right now. And whenever, I can't remember when it was, but whatever year it was that Final Veil came out, I thought that was one of the top 3 designs of the year. I thought it was awesome. I liked it on the I think it was the Crits original submission colorway, even more than what they changed it to. But either way, it was still a beautiful design. That one was just pure awesomeness, and I was impressed by the art. And I was excited that everybody was as impressed and helped vote it through and get it through. It's a great design.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah, this one once again, Wes really carried the torch with. He sent it to me first, and I think it was just a woman's face, and I was like, "It's dope, but skull, skull in there." And he fucking sketched it up, and I said, "Send that to me so I can vector it immediately." And then I posted it by the end of the day, and fucking everyone went crazy because I mean, yeah, the way he achieved that, I mean, it's masterful.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
I that was all his work as far as putting his hands in it. You know, I just kind of fucking told him my thoughts on it and what should be changed and whatnot. I'm pretty proud of a lot of my abilities I've been able to, you know, do through creating, through, you know, Procreate and Illustrator and making designs. But what he was able to achieve on this one, like, was super proud of the dude, and it's awesome. Especially the way, you know, it's like that 3/4 turn, and he captures the depth and everything perfectly. Yeah, I can't wait to see that one in hand. I mean, I think they're gonna do it's gonna be so crazy embroidered with all the different, you know, layers and wrinkles and shit. Very excited for that one.
That one definitely looks like it could be from a carving.
Yeah.
That was a pre-order from me, so I'm waiting for that thing to ship. So good stuff. All right, this is where we hawk some shirts, baby. Not only am I a hawker, but I am the proud owner right here, baby. We got the I was a big fan of this when it was in the crits, and sadly did not become a hat, but it looks good in hand, and you can go to sandhillsrejects.com like I did and get this. And so we got the Queen of Hearts right here, and you know, it's been a while since I've been a fashion model, but you know, here it is, the crypto Mothman. So I love the cryptids. So folks, if you know, one of these designs was something that you liked and it's not on a hat, you can wear it on a shirt or a hoodie in some cases. So get them while they're hot, people.
We got more coming too.
Awesome.
I think our entire panel was disappointed with the sardines hat. That was a great one.
Agreed.
Yeah, that
different.
one. So I was kind of heavy-handed in the first version. I don't know if you guys remember that one. The first version had a lot more to do with the actual can, and the logo on the can, everything. We incorporated clink into it.
Yeah.
And then I tried to redo it, and I was struggling capturing the depth of the sardines inside the can. Getting like the ones underneath that look underneath the other ones stacked, right? And so I got the can really good, and so I threw it back to Wes, and he kind of he altered it, but kind of kept how I was able to get the dimension of the can. And he just kept sending it to me, and I was like, dude, you're having the same problem I have with the sardines. They're just, they're looking too flat. We got to capture the depth that they're underneath one another. And then he finally nailed it, and he got the gold bloom. And then we fell into the voter's purgatory. But it's on
Right.
shirt.
And if you get the shirt, you need to go on Temu and get this.
That's dope.
It is it's a little pill or breath mint holder, and
Oh,
it can
very
also
nice.
serve as a mirror, right? So it's like I don't know, it was like $4 on Temu. I'm scrolling through and I'm like, holy cow, hey, that looks just like the shirt. So if any, I don't know, I can post a link in if somebody wants this, but it's Temu, so it doesn't cost anything practically. But I saw this and I'm like, I must get it. And my spouse, he's like, I had your shirt sitting out and this, and he's like, oh, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, they're not the same, but they're the same concept. So it's just kind of fun.
So whose idea was it to have the one fish that looks like it's alive under the dead fish?
Yeah, that was the West. So West took version 2 and ran with it and threw in that new, I think we call it pack tight, right? Where he's obviously still alive, everyone else is dead. And that's awesome. That's the cool little Easter egg of it or whatnot, whatever you want to say. But yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been super cool on a clink for sure. But I'm glad we got it on a t-shirt.
All right, let's get an update on little clink news. So if you we had a shock drop, we had a couple shock drops since the last time. So we got and I'm forgetting what this one's called. Anybody? Oh,
Sumo Kong.
Oh, look, it's on the slide.
Yeah.
Past Matt helped future Matt out. All right, and then the strawberry lollipop. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to hit lollipop fatigues because these things are they just blow out as soon as they drop. And I actually bought the orange lollipop, which was my first ever lollipop. But then we also got like a hat we didn't know was coming. So we got Grim Sleeper popped up in the shop. So this panel is a big fan of 14.8 and feels that his stuff would embroidery great. And some of his great stuff just doesn't get to the shop. So I think it's pretty clear we were all happy to see 14.8 get in there. And Glenn's collab goes out on top. So happy for our panelist. Very, very strong run in the shop. I'm hoping that pays for all the other clinks you've already pre-ordered. So I know you don't see the clink dollars for a long time, right? But I understand that's the way the process works. But hopefully maybe you can borrow against the clink bank or something. I don't know how this works, but I don't know how Casey does it. But congrats, and yeah, there's a bunch of people ordered. Are you allowed, or do you know the number, or can you share that, or is that hush hush? I don't know.
We don't know yet.
Okay,
You'll find out in like a week.
Friday. Yeah. Friday you should find out. That's usually when you get the email.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Oh, and then I skipped one. Oh, no. Okay. This is the moment for mail call. And with Wes being far out there in the Great Plains, I switched it up. We went with the Pony Express here. Anybody want to do a little show and tell?
I got a couple
hot deliveries. All right.
Yep. He's actually just arrived today.
Okay.
So we got from Hat Club, we got the Chimuko Studios championship reboot. The original was teal and blue, I believe, but they went with the red and black version with the metallic red, and it's really nice looking. Came through real nice and fits great because it's made in China. So, or actually, yeah, this one was from China. So I was really thrilled about that. Then, for the first time in quite a while, I got a couple from Noble North. Got the new purple Sasquatch.
Nice.
This is one of a few designs where I have every single one, every single color. So this was a requirement to get this one. And then I've been waiting to get this one since last year, but I was able to get the Noble North script.
Nice.
And this gray one in particular was the one I was really after because there's just something about that white outline on the north that just makes it pop even more. And green under, gotta love this, you know, with the gray crown. Absolute fire. Totally down. Love this. That's it.
All right. Anybody else?
I am still checking my mailbox every single day for my Rhinelander. I still haven't got it. I'm so excited for it, especially seeing it on your head right now.
Yeah, it's so good.
I pre-ordered Rhinelander. And so I'm actually good friends here in Atlanta with a woman who's from Rhinelander, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed her the hat after it went to production. And she's like, you let me know when that goes on sale. Because she's like, the Hoodag is a big deal up in Rhinelander. So she wants to get a dead stock on that baby. Oh, you got yours. I got the ship. I got a shipping notice.
I've had mine for a bit. You don't watch anything on my Instagram, do you, Matt?
You know what? Truthfully, a lot of things blur together. I see a lot of hats.
Clearly.
No, I mean, it's true. You and I have very similar tastes. So usually if you buy something, I'm always like, maybe I should have bought that. Aaron bought it. I'm probably going to regret it because if Aaron liked it, I'm probably going to like it in 6 months. Like I probably screwed up. I always think
Rhinelander is fantastic. Yeah. Rhinelander, you know, Levi and I, we swapped some messages on this when I first got it, and it's fantastic. It's even better than I anticipated. And the one thing that really like puts it over the top for me is the cardinal red crown. I love cardinal red. There's just something about the depth of the color in that just is different than any other red to me. And it really is a great looking hat. Very nice job on this, Levi.
Thank you. That was a fun one. I messed around with that one for quite a while before I got the old gold bloom from Wes.
I could see that spreading to other collab relationships. The gold bloom. I got a couple. So this was one that I actually got this from another collector who ordered it, and then for whatever reason decided to part with it. I liked the flowers. I grew this flower on my porch until it got frozen, and I think it's beautiful. And I grew up, and we had this in our house. So the honey honey squeeze bottle that was shaped like a bear, we absolutely had this. My mom baked a lot of fresh bread, and I was somebody who loved to put some butter and some honey on the hot bread. And so this is for me a nostalgia hat. This is my like teenage years. And Glenn, I mean, I don't know if Glenn's a sweet tea drinker. I'm a Yankee, so I don't even drink sweet tea, but this just screams like South. And so we also had these like jars with the little handle. I don't know if that was like an 80s thing. But I was like, this is just a callback to my youth. So this is in the collection. And then this one's gonna come up in about some minutes, but because there's something else up this week. Okay. Well, we'll get to that. And then I wore this to my hockey game, day drinkers. I don't even really drink hardly at all, but we hang out after the hockey games in the parking lot, and I'm the one drinking the Diet Coke. But fun hat, day drinkers. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Glenn, did you get this? Because this
it's a great one.
It screams. It says Glenn to me when I see it. And then this one I got from my husband. So my husband loves watching Frisbee golf. And we've played a little bit in Atlanta. We're not very good, but and so this is it's got over here. If you're not familiar, this is the Frisbee golf target. So you hit the chains and it drops in. And I'll come home from hockey sometimes, and he's got like Frisbee golf on YouTube, and he'd be like, "Oh, dude, you got to see this." He's like, this guy, he throws it over the top of a hill and it like comes in and it lands in the target. And he's like, how did you even know it was there? And he's like going off and telling me like, and this guy is giving me all the backstory. Like he knows these like frisbee golf players, and it's hard to see it, but there's some metallics in here. It's got some real shine, so that it's not just a brown, but there's a kind of a glint that comes off the brown in the arm. And then the disc itself also has some metallic colors. And then it's got this really nice detail with the moon up there and little bits of stars. So this is one that looked good in the artwork, but I think it looks even better than I expected in hand. So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Anybody else have
I got
more?
some.
All
It
right.
looked like Glenn was
Glenn.
shuffling
All right.
through.
Here we go, Glenn. Let's make you
All
big.
right. I got a handful of new ones.
Woohoo.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Necessary or unnecessary roughness. Creature Zoid. Canada Dad Bod and the Grimace. Came out nice. 14
Yeah, I got that
8.
one too. And you know what, Glenn? It's getting a Malort pin.
Another great
14-8,
14-8.
man. 14-8 star was. That's for stars of the pre-order group, man. That's good
Beautiful
stuff.
under with the beautiful back hit, different colors. I do have the Day Drinkers mount, and you're right. This is my new official day drinking hat, and the Vols
Aha.
Zombievers. That one's fun. These two
Very nice.
actually have the same back hit. This is crazy. Zombievers and Unnecessary Roughness. I was like, that's a different back hit, and then I ended up with two.
Did you also get the backyard lawn chair hat? Because I would think Day Drinkers and the lawn chair kind of go side by side.
No, I didn't get that one.
And which one did your cat get? Like, you know.
I might have gotten a little something recently.
Oh yeah, the
Noble North.
I got
Yeah, no, that's-
the Unbearably North.
Unbearably North. Yeah,
There's
that's right.
a shock drop fresh colorway. Oh, we'll pull this up. So yeah, this is from Aurelian, and I pretty much love everything Aurelian has ever done. And this is just so weird, and absolutely no one is gonna know what's on my head. Definitely gonna get the look. And yeah, I and it's got the flag and then UV gray. But yeah, this one's I can't wait because there's gonna be somebody who talks to me about it. So yeah, I always love seeing Aurelian's work. But
Come on.
okay,
Sorry.
that was too much FaceTime for me.
No, my connectivity blinked out there. I lost my connection there. So that's what was going on. Anybody else?
I'll just breeze through mine real quick. So the new Aztec colorway, clean, really good. I haven't seen a ton of people post this yet, but Travel Ball is really good.
It looks good.
That border read looks super clean.
Stripes. Yeah, it's a really good one. And then y'all, I haven't seen I mean, I know Aaron, I know you're real, so I don't want to get in Matthew territory, but this one,
yeah, that's an amazing hat. Amazing.
This one is crazy. And this is not usually my motif, but I saw it and I kind of saw the vision. I was like, nah, I think this could go crazy, and I reinforced myself. Very good. This is so thick, the dagger and everything. The glow is super cool on it. The pink dots have a reactive, as I posted, kind of glow to them. Yeah, it's pretty epic. And between us, it was a much lower seller. So there's not going to be a ton of dead stock. So if you want it,
I'm glad I got it.
You might have to pull some strings.
Yeah. Glad I got that.
I did not pre-order that, but another collector offered it to me this week, so it will be coming to my house.
Yeah, I was going to say you better snap it up.
Aaron liked it. I'm gonna like it, right? I mean, that's all right. Any others? All right. Cool. Just a quick shout out. If you haven't seen it, check out Mr. Oblis Instagram. He did a really cool little video showing off his underbrims, his Custer underbrims from Casey, and just fantastic. And it gave me kind of thought about like how would you display them, because of course, you know, as I always say, I don't see underbrims when I'm wearing that. but the underbrim is beautiful and it's something worthy of display. And I did a personal shopper this weekend, and Taylor was awesome. And he's like, I bought one of the old hockey hats, and he's like, well, okay, he's like, with your order, he's like, Casey will do an underbrim for you. And he's like, you have any requests? And I said, a hockey. And he's like, on the hockey hat? And I'm like, yes. So I am crossing my fingers. Whenever that shows up, I'm going to get that underbrim, and it's going to be
Very nice.
So
very nice. Speaking of underbrim, that was mine.
nice.
I forgot to. I've been kind of sitting on this a little bit. So
What's in the mouth? Is that a pencil?
it's pencil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first batch of 20 that they did, they featured them all on the website, but I don't think they did it this time. I would be curious to see.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because he's got an Evil Knievel, Mr. Oblis. So pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that one's sweet.
Pretty cool. All right, and then just about a couple quick hits. Chimuko Studios has got this right now at Hat Club, and that's one to check out. And technically, not a clink or a custom, but the San Jose Sharks, who do some really fun Heritage Night versions of their logo. I was actually wearing one of their Native American one earlier tonight. I was watching my Red Wings. I got that on one of the jerseys. They have a Vietnamese heritage, which is like, I think, the first NHL team to do something. I don't think this would stitch well on a hat, but I think this would make a really good t-shirt. So I'm going to be looking for that. Maybe there'll be a hat version. We'll see. Just to kind of touch on it, a little hot controversy. If you're in the buy sell trade page, you know about this. Someone, I'm not going to name any names, but somebody's selling the lollipops for $200 a pop. If you grew up in my
Literally.
age, there was a lollipop. I can't remember the brand name, but they're like, you bet you can't stop at just one lick. Well, at
That's
$200,
Let's see, Pop.
$200 a pop, I might have to stop at just one lick. I don't know if I could afford to make lollipops at that price, but so it'll be interesting to see if Clink takes any like anti-scalping measures. I don't know. I mean, it's a small enough number of consumers that I would think they could figure out who it was real quick. If
Dude, it's like the Bisons of Clink. Remember Bisons back in the day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People could resell them for like
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, completely ridiculous. And they sold out in a flash and were instantly, online for resale, and it was just ridiculous. So fortunately, Clink did take action on one person who got both of the lollipops in advance, and they've lost some privileges. So good. Glad to see that.
So just as Glenn steps out of the shop, we're about to introduce another panelist to the shop. So as with Glenn, he did not vote for his own hat in our list, but I'm pretty sure that Adam also likes the lighthouse here. Adam, you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah.
Did I get the
was
percentage
stoked
of
to
the vote
see it.
right? Is that the vote right vote?
Yeah, I was stoked to see it end at 90. There's always room to get better. Hey, 99 is all right with me. I'm not a perfectionist. Yeah. So, yeah, those that know me know, yeah, I dig lighthouses, love lighthouses a lot for a while too, not just hat-wise. I have a big lighthouse tattoo on my leg. I grew up with them around my house. My mom really dug lighthouses, so it's always been a motif and subject matter I've liked. And I have the OG, and it's cool, but I always felt it could be revamped. And I had asked Milos almost a year ago about it, and like the antithesis of your mixtape gold, Levi, he he was like getting it. He was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I said, no, I understand. And I kind of like, actually did draw him some of what I had in mind. And I said, your style, black and white, I think it could be really cool. And he just kind of was putting it on the back burner. So then cool story. So he got married recently, and on his honeymoon, the beach they were staying at, there was a lighthouse. And so he sent me a picture of just the lighthouse, to be clear, from the honeymoon. So he sent me a picture of the lighthouse, and he was like, all right, like, I take it as a sign. Let's do it. And that was only about a month or so ago. So it came together super quick. And I'm very biased, but I think it looks freaking awesome. And he's just so funny, man. He's so talented. Even when I didn't change anything. Like, he sent this to me, and I'm just laughing because he's like, I don't know, what do you think? And I'm like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, if I had your talent, he's like, he wasn't even like, like Levi said, he's confident, but he wasn't like, he was just like, I don't know, does this work? And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is so freaking good. So yeah, no changes he sent. And then I will say it was funny though. The initial one I sent him, he was like, yeah, we need a +1. I said, no problem. Let's incorporate a compass. And he's like, nah, that's whack. It's been done before. It's been done many times and stuff. I'm like, okay. So it had changed like 15 times too. And he would do something. I don't really like that. And then, so finally he thought of, the backlit compass, and inferring the light is kind of like shining on the compass, the glow feature and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of details in that compass. It'll probably take some of them out. It's all good. But just as with the color, Levi, it's like, dude, fuck it. Like, send it and let Casey like fix those little details out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it.
Yep.
It looks good. Let's put it out, and then he can slice and dice if he wants. So I'm not super worried about it.
And
that was one that, like, when you saw, like, initially right away, you're like, oh, that's destined for the store. Like, there was no doubt in my mind when I saw that when you submitted it. I'm like, that one's 100% making it. Like, it's that good.
Thanks, man.
One thing that stood out to me is that it's hard to make a static object have motion or action, but the wave gives it some action. I like that.
Yeah, I love how he did the waves, like the darkness of it.
And did you already
see? That's great.
I'm glad you guys brought that up. That was I take it back. That was the only edit. When he first sent me the waves, they were a lot darker, and he wasn't into that because it kind of blended with the rock. So that was the only change. We just made that like a lighter gray to give more contrast against the rocks and stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much exactly how he sent it. Yeah.
Nice.
And did I can't remember if we said this on air or before, but about it being, you want to tell him?
That I got a contract?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, with the 99% vote, I'd hope so.
Nothing is given. But...
All right. So my husband doesn't always vote. So back when before this show existed, we would watch Sundays on Sunday, and our tradition was to watch some English Premier League football and get Chinese takeout, and we'd watch morning football from across the pond, and then like when that would end, Leon would come on and run through the designs, and we'd sit there and be like, oh, I like that, I don't like that. And he just doesn't really wear hats, to be honest. Like, he wears his Irish cap, but there's a hat in here today that he loved, and so he's like, I'm gonna go on to Clink and vote. And so, but I told him, I said, my rule is that you have to vote for free hats if you're gonna vote, because that's your price. So I personally was a big fan of free hats, and we were talking to Jake. I was like, that's got to go up. I'm like, it's an inside joke for hat collectors, but like, I would absolutely buy that and wear that, because that would be me. I could be lured to my demise by the offer of free hats. So it's awesome. It's on the threshold. I suppose I haven't tried to reach out to him. I should reach out to him and see if it got a contract, but I would be thrilled if it did. But it's definitely a niche topic. Not everybody's going to buy this hat. So any other?
I just think it's fun.
Want to comment?
I just think it's fun that the rust patterns on the van are perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such a nice touch, and it really, he did a great job of making it look like a cruddy van. It's really well done. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the rust, how he accomplished that rust is pretty impressive. It reminds me of a certain Adult Swim cartoon, the one like with the PE teacher and all that. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about. I don't know. It'll come.
I don't.
But like the type of animation, it just reminds me of. I can't think of the name of the damn cartoon, but but it's dope.
All right.
Any others before we go on? We got. I know we've already talked a lot, but if you want to make a comment, speak up. I mean, these were both loved by the panel, so
Yeah, Guiding Light is freaking awesome. It was just one of those like jaw-dropping clink design moments. Like, what is this? It was awesome. And then when you scrolled over and you saw basically the new design, the glow in the dark, it was like, wow. You were speechless again when you scrolled over and saw that picture. I also voted for free hats as well. I thought that one was funny, something a little different. I really like that one. The colorway is cool. Yeah, it was a fun hat. Great guy. Hope it got made too.
oh, I might be getting an answer just now. Hang on a second.
Well,
I will say.
I was gonna say while you read that answer, I one last thing I would be remiss if I didn't say, we were stuck on the color under, and we tried blue for like water and stuff. Totally like it looked corny because this is like black and gray, and then I was gonna just submit light gray, and I showed my wife, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you do mint?" And I was like, "Oh, that's not half bad." And I sent it to Milos, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I dig this shit." And I told her, and it made her night. So I mean, she said it made her night, but again, we're gonna give credit is due.
Unfortunately, not good news for Mr. Jake.
Oh, too bad.
Maybe it will see the light of day again. I growing up in Michigan in the 80s, I saw vehicles with the rust pattern a lot like that. So that felt very realistic to me. All right, so we got Blossom. When the moment I saw this, I was like, "That's a yes vote from Aaron." I can already estimate. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah. I mean, look, we got this. We got these two hats. Okay, we've got these two hats, and if anybody can look at these two hats and say, 14/8's not that great, just what are you doing? You know. So Blossom is gonna embroider fantastic. It's got colorway options. I mean, even if this changed to a different colorway, it's still gonna look cool. You know, from if it hits the shop, assuming it hits the shop, but it's his art is just right for embroidery. It's a big bold logo with a lot of space for the embroidery to really provide the texture. And I love his work. I'm firmly in his corner nowadays. So I would absolutely love to see this get to the shop. Now, unfortunately, the vote number doesn't give me a lot of confidence that it made it, but hopefully maybe there's a tweak, and Neil's been good about, trying to, it's in. Ah, yes. That's awesome. Great news. Love it. So
that's awesome.
I was just going to say, Neil doesn't typically give up on his designs and will rework. So if it didn't make it, I was confident he would have done something to put it back in. But I love it. I think this is the kind of simple design logo that we need to see more of.
And everybody voted for Honeymoon. So pretty clear how this group thinks about it.
I think it's such a sweet little pun, and it's very cleverly done. And I feel like the dripping honey is meaningful and it's clever. And I think this could turn out really, really pretty with the embroidery. I hope they do some nice dimensionality with this. Even if it ends up being a flat stitch, I think it's still going to be a really pretty design. And if they do it right with the little bees, if those are done nice. Like this is going to be the 10-foot rule where you can look at it and you know what you're looking at. People will figure it out.
And Levi, as an artist, anything stand out or strike you about these two hats or the two before?
I voted for both these. That 14.8, that's like he's done that. This is his second or third version of that, right?
Mm.
I've liked every one of them.
I think this is like third or fourth.
Okay, yeah, and I like every single version of it. I pretty much say exactly what Aaron said about, word for word. The way that I know that this can embroider is what really gets me excited for it. Only thing I would change is I don't really like the infrared. I'd probably change the color of it, especially the UV and all that. But that's a minor thing. I'd probably still be one I would consider copying, even if it's his colorway. But just I really like 14.8. His stuff is just made perfectly for embroidery.
Yeah, it is.
And with the honeymoon, it's fantastic. It was this honeymoon and another one were tied for my favorites of the week. In the honeymoon, I'm just super impressed with Soundwave. He started designing probably like a year or two ago, and I mean he was good from the start, but the progression he's made is very impressive. I'm just super impressed with him. This design, I mean the highlights he's able to add in there on the honey, the dimension, the depth of it, and then kind of just the different feel with the butterflies, or I mean not the butterflies, but the bees. It's almost a different style compared to the honeycomb, but it works really well. And then the colorway to me is perfect. If they don't I don't think they need to change a single thing about that. Honestly, the only thing I would change on either of these is I just would get rid of the infrared on Blossom.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my dad tried having a beehive, and it lasted 1 year, and then the hive died over the winter. We're not really sure what happened, but having actually seen a real beehive, I love this, so I liked it. Aaron?
I just was gonna say we got to keep that colorway too, man. That navy blue with the green UV, it's gotta hold. Yep.
Or there'll be a strongly worded letter.
I like
your pitchforks, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
I like designs that both have it has like a masculine and feminine feel at the same time, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Exactly.
I feel like that hits that, and I appreciate that.
Cool.
That's kind of like how I would describe your playlist, Levi.
Oh, that is 100% my playlist. It's literally it goes from Brother Lynch Hung to Celine Dion, and I'm not even joking.
That's a whole there could be like a Clinker's playlist for like artists submit I don't know 12 tracks or something like that. I don't know, it'd be kind of fun. But any other panel comments before we move? We good?
Yeah, I like these both. Obviously, we talked about 14.8, so I won't go into that, but this is clean. It'll be awesome. Honeymoon. I don't know if I've said before, big fan of honey in general, but my good friend who I donated my kidney to, she's a beekeeper. And so I get to get her local honey. And so I have an affinity for bees and honey as well. But I know y'all are all about that green under, and that's cool. This looks good as is. I don't know. I might like a UV that actually goes with that honey a little bit more, either shade of it. I think I would be more agreeable for me in terms of the overall design, but it wouldn't prevent me from buying.
All right. Yeah, I would prefer a slightly brighter color, but then I don't see undervisors anyway, so it's not going to impact.
Right. Yeah. What does it matter, Matt?
The only thing, if they went with a gold undervisor, it would be an awesome hat for Casey to sketch on because it'd be a brighter color. So,
very true.
Just saying. All right, so we got Adam, Glenn, Jesse, all like Delta Defender. Anybody want to chat about that?
I
like Delta.
Cherry 19.
Oops.
You go first,
You
Go ahead,
Jesse.
Glenn.
Ladies first.
I just like the 1980s feel. Like it just, I don't know. Like I'm getting ready to get on a ride at Walt Disney or at Epcot Center, or it's a video game. Like it's just, but it's just also nicely geometric. I think this will look good.
The Last Starfighter. You guys remember that one?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I saw
absolutely.
that
100%.
in theaters. I'm that old.
Oh, really? I love that movie so much. The only thing I wish is I'm very particular that it needs to be raised up, the logo. I hate how low it is.
I mean, like higher on the crown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Adam,
Yeah, that, and I would say the
Bigger.
ship needs to be higher as well. I think the ship is getting lost in the logo a little bit in the shape. I would either make the ship bigger so it's more pronounced, especially at the top. It's kind of just blending right in. So either just go wild contrast and make it pop, or have the plane actually extend outside of the shape, so it's giving it more instantly recognizable kind of vibes. But yeah, to your point, Jesse, I just got back from Disneyland, so I can absolutely confirm this is giving crazy Space Mountain vibes. I love it. I actually would be super down if it was like changed up a little bit, like we talked about. Yeah, shape, raise the logo, beef up the shuttle a little bit. I love this. I think it's simple enough that Casey could go wild with it. I could see the ship being the raised part, the shape, the actual shape being a little bit flatter. So I love it. Colors work for everything. I'm actually all in. Let's just tweak it a teeny bit. And then I'm not going to talk about Shave Your Beaver, but I am going to say maybe it's typecasting. I'm a little disappointed, Jesse, you didn't pick this one. I feel like we could have used a different perspective on this specific hat that Matt might not be able
You're making
to
her blush.
offer. But, do as you wish.
So from the
Can't
Gale
participate in the conversation about this.
From the gay male perspective, I'll just say it's naughty, it's inappropriate, it's probably not getting past New Era legal if they know what the title is, but it made me chuckle and I think it's funny. It's childish. My inner 13-year-old like laughed hard when I saw this the first time. I was like, that's so like 8th grade humor, but so it is what it is. I'm the only person who selected it, so I was entertained. All right, so we can move past this.
Well, real quick, I freaking love Delta Defender. Steve G, the director, and Django Snow. I thought this one reminded me of the 80s, like the movie Space Camp. Like that's a logo from their uniform, or like a logo from an Atari 2600 video game box art. I thought it looked amazing. I can't believe it only ended up at 26%. That's like mind blowing to me. That one was like in my top 3 of the day. Along with Zach's honey design. But I'm shocked it only got 26%. That sucks.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't know, Steve G, the director, used to go by another handle that you probably know better.
Yeah.
If you're an all-time clinker, you may know what that is.
COD.
COD Designs. Yeah, COD.
Create or destroy.
Correct.
Yep.
So I was working on my spreadsheet of clink hats, and I'm like, Steve G, the director. I'm like, and then I was like, oh, this is a COD. Okay, all right, now I know who this guy is.
He was a heavy hitter back in the day, and he kind of disappeared for a while. I was kind of wondering.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, you get the solo. You get the solo chops here on a hammer horn.
I don't need a ton of time. I think that I don't know if Gabe just his color wise and everything. I don't know if he intentionally put that under as like either that lava red or different than the red in the design, but I know that I see the rhino's eye is kind of a teal and the button's teal, but otherwise I think it's a little disjointed. But I don't know. You have 32 up here. Last I checked, it was at like 39. So I think this is like it may have gotten into stuff in. It's hovers below 40. I actually like, I won't get into it. I won't politic or anything. I do think that the logo itself, the vibe is kind of fun. It's a pretty menacing rhino, but no, I just thought the colors were a little off. So if it did stay low, I was going to say, hey, an obvious choice might be get the colors back in line. But what do I know? It ended up going pretty good. So.
Yeah, that screams. Yeah, I'm looking at the vote. I actually didn't apparently update it. So it was 38% when I took a screenshot. So yeah, the number is lower. You're correct.
And that's like close, right? Yeah. Like 37, 38, 39.
Yeah.
Is just kind of like those are our wait and sees nowadays. Yeah. And like you feel good about 40, but I feel like even that's not a guarantee lately. So
almost everything over 40 goes to the shop. Almost. I'd say it's pretty rough.
Yeah, Beta didn't until we called it out.
But they admitted that was just an oversight. Well, at least they said it was.
Okay, but do you think they would have admitted it if it wasn't called out?
Well, you're very persuasive.
I didn't call it out. I just agreed. Yeah, but
all right. And while he did not vote for or did not ask to talk about his own hat, I'm assuming that Levi is okay with this one. I was a classics major in undergrad. I was a giant nerd, and instead of partying a lot, I spent a lot of time translating things from Greek and Latin because I was fun. I was a lot of fun in college, and I love anything that has a bit of a classics reference. And so I think, was this originally called Sirens? Sirens? Is that correct? Or
no, we have a different Sirens design.
Maybe
with
okay.
The skeleton sirens.
Yes. Okay. But it does kind of have so it's got the mermaid, and it's got a little bit of the predator ripping the entire spine out of his victim, but only now it's a beautiful mermaid that's doing this very destructive act, and it touches on sort of sci-fi classics, mythology, all this kind of stuff, things I like. So tell us about it.
Yeah, this one is as I mentioned before, when you're designing and you just see random stuff and you're like, oh my God, Clink design. Wes literally sent me a picture. I think it was like of a lamp, or I'm pretty sure it was a lamp, but he's like, dude, I'm going to make this it was like a lamp of a woman holding like a ball. And he's like, I'm going to make this into a mermaid holding a diver's helmet with the spine sticking out, like the head's still in there. I was like, run it, dude. I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see this. And then, he just ran with it and kept sending it to me along the way. He nailed the waves immediately. I kind of helped him. The woman at first was a little too masculine, so we made her more feminine. And I did at first I kept telling him, dude, I want to put a face on it and put the hair more coming back and just doing like a subtle face. But he's like, no. And then, but the way he had the chin was also like super masculine, like kind of squared jaw like. I was like, it's not reading right. And he literally just moved that little swoosh to the other side to be like the back of her neck, and it made all the difference. And then I thought about the hair, I was like, no, it is a good thing. It's a creative way to hide something without losing it. You don't necessarily need the face. And your hair would be wet like that if you're coming out of the water like that, springing out of the water. And just super creative. At first, he didn't have the backdrop, and I was like, I think you should put a backdrop on there with a contrasting color to really make it pop. And it certainly did. Just another one. I think the detail is really impressive. He's pretty bummed about it, but maybe it'll be on a shirt.
So I will say that the contrasting color behind it was critical for me. Like that, if it had just been monotone, I don't know, but like the color really grabbed me, and I was like, I like that. I know, like Leon was always saying, like another circle on a hat, like but I think it works here. So
yeah, and they would do some cool shit with the embroidery anyway, So you got it. A lot of people don't think about that, but I mean, half the surprise is when you get it you open that box and you're just like, holy shit, like how do they think to embroider like the line and everything? And you can't, people see an image and obviously they're just looking at a flat image. They're not considering that. A lot of the people, So voters, please always think of that stuff.
When you led with he was inspired by a lamp, I wanted to see a lamp that had a woman with the humans like
Right.
ray coming. I was like, where is this lamp? Is this in the
You're
like?
right. I have.
Is this in the Predator shop or something?
I mean, I guess it just shows
Tiki
his
bar.
twisted mind, right? That he saw a nice, beautiful woman holding an orbital ball, and he thought tearing a head off. You know.
Some dark imagination there he's got.
Yeah.
He seems, I didn't see all that darkness in him, but now I see it.
Oh, it's in there.
He did get
Those
a
are the darkest nights.
Yeah.
we got another comment from Jake, and he said he's already working on a revision to free hats because I said, you're
Yay.
not far from that 40% threshold, so it didn't get a contract, but he's like it's close enough that he's got some hope, and so he's gonna do some more to it. And 14.8 made the shop. He says, much to my surprise, fourth time was the charm.
Fourth time. Well, good. Persistence pays off, man.
Yep.
He says he's just hoping not too many revisions to what he sent to Clink.
I can't imagine they'll change much of it at all.
We'll see.
Color, maybe.
All right. And Jesse, you're up. Take it away.
Oh, I mean, I like this. We do get a lot of skulls in the clink room, but I think I like this in the context of how I feel about AI and all that generative AI, that it's a place where your brain goes to die. So I feel like it kind of resonated for me on in that regard. And I think Raphael executes designs very nicely. I think it turned out good. But it only got 17%. Alas. Well, it was a good idea. It was a good idea.
All right. Aaron, happy face?
Excuse me. I like this from the first time that I saw it. The colorway feels a little weird to me, and maybe that's what might have affected it. But I love the details in the mask. The tape across the mouth, the texture that he accomplished in the wrinkles on the tape. I think just if you can get excited about how good duct tape looks, on an embroidery mock-up, to me that was a real big piece of what made this look cool. And then I think the way that he drew the upper part of the mask just conveyed so much emotion. The sad, there's sadness, in those eyes, and it's just and I love the is the right word, juxtaposition of the smiley face, on that sad face. So I thought it was a really neat look. I was hoping for better for this one because I just really wanted to see how that tape would turn out embroidered, because I think that looks really cool.
I actually did vote for this. I just didn't put it in my list because I had so many. But I hope this isn't too negative. I did feel like if you put red and yellow together, it looks like a fast food restaurant. Like it's
ketchup and mustard. It always evokes that to
design
me.
is so gosh darn clever. I definitely voted for it, but the colorway.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Jesse, 100%. I felt the same way about the colorway. I felt there's just something about red and yellow together that, and it's different. It's not red and gold together. It's red and yellow, and it just evokes that. I know what you mean. So
I came to say that same thing, Jesse. I liked this one and voted for it. I like Jake's work. I like this one. I like you said, I like how he did the tape on there. I just thought that was just genius. You can see the little rolls in the tape. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
And I like the colorway with the button matching the same color as the tape, matching the UV on that hat. I thought he did a good job with that. Very disappointed with the voting on that one.
The one comment, I was looking at this with my spouse, and he was worried that the edge of the smiley face that Amazon would sue.
No, yeah.
But then he noted that it's kind of the double arrow, and the Amazon is just one arrow to the
Right,
side.
right.
So, yeah. So that's which I was like, well, Casey could just change the mouth. I mean, like if that was keeping it from being made, he could tweak that. So, all right. And Glenn and Jesse. So to avoid confusion, Jesse, talk to us. We all know about Glenn's unnatural love of all things bolts, but so like I'll let you go first.
And this one is unnatural, and I think it's hilarious. I the combination. I've never heard of a Wolpertinger thing before, but we've got the bunny, and it's just enough cute. It's not over the top cute, but sometimes when people do bunny designs, like they make them too harsh and like angry, and this one's like I'm fierce but I'm cute, and I like it. So maybe a little reworking. Maybe it'll get made. I'm sorry it didn't get more than 27%, but there's something there. There's something to it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was a fan of that one. It's almost like it's fluffy, but it's fierce at the same time. Um, it's cute, but it's menacing too at the same time. So it's like it's just got a cool dichotomy of that in that design. And then Rum Raiders, I've liked Rum Raiders for a long time. He's had that in his repertoire for a while.
So good. How
Um,
did that not get more than 28%? I mean,
right?
that
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah.
cocktail hour, it's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
If
It's good. It's people are going to
if you
see it, they're going to know what they're looking at.
if you're a drinker or if you've worked in the food service that sells alcohol, if you've been a bartender, if you've been friends with a bartender, everybody that in that industry or thrives in that industry of some sort knows those little blue sword picks. And I'm not I would buy this hat in any colorway, but this wasn't my favorite of all the colorways he had on that design. But I think it's so good I would buy it in whatever colorway it would be, as long as we got it.
Maybe not red and yellow, but
Not for Jesse. Not for Jesse. No red and yellow.
Aaron, any comments? Are we ready to go, or what's?
No, I don't have much to say beyond what anybody else said. I enjoyed it. It's a fun design. I like the colors personally. I think that I'm a big fan of that off color button. I always think that's a neat touch in a design. So that's one thing that definitely caught my eye. But it's just it's Flanagan, and it's you can rarely go wrong with the Flanagan design.
That red button, could you say that's the cherry on top?
oh my goodness.
There you go. There you go.
All right. We got Aaron and Jesse for Stay Weird. Sorry, bye, Jake.
Go ahead, Jesse.
I like this. I wonder if maybe if it could, the overall concept is great. I do wonder if maybe if it got simplified a little bit more, maybe wider stripes while maintaining that. It's fun. It's a fun design. It's an alien. I like the title. Yeah, I wonder if simplifying it would get it a higher vote on maybe a resub.
And for me, I say the same. I feel the same way about the hat. This is one of those you've heard me talk before. There's sometimes I'll see a hat and it just says that's a clink room hat. That's what that looks like to me. And I think it would be it's a little different than what we normally see, but that's what we like about clink. And I think that I can't put a finger on a change that would help it, but I think Jesse's onto something with maybe some simplification in the lines so that the image is a little more obvious to some folks. But I dig it. I like it.
My one comment about this would be more primary colors, fewer off-axis colors. I think it would be more popular, or maybe fewer colors overall.
Sure.
You know, but
Yep.
you know, Jake can make choices if he wants to resubmit.
Yeah, of
All right,
course.
and then we've got Shapeshifter. And the reason Thomas is on there, Thomas is my spouse, and he tolerates very well my hat addiction. He has opinions about hats, and he was so motivated by Shapeshifter that he logged on and voted today, which he only votes once in a great blue moon. So, you know, is Eli Barrow? Or is it E Barrow? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, to be honest, but you got one fan in my household, and that was my spouse. He was like, if that goes in the shop, you got to buy that. I'm like, okay. Levi, would you like that?
Yeah, this one was tied with Honeymoon for my favorite of the day. I don't recognize the designer. He's relatively new to Clink, right?
Yeah, he's done a few, I think.
Okay, yeah. So this, I mean, I love the colorway. I love the how much the eyes and everything pop out, the detail. The only thing I'm worried about a little bit is I think they're gonna have to shrink it a little. So I'm wondering with the detail if it gets shrunk down a little bit. Honestly, I don't know how it didn't vote higher than 37%. I mean, it's when I look at that, I'm amazed. Like the saliva, you know, pulling apart, their eyes connecting, everything about it. It's fucking awesome. That's my only worry is if it gets shrunk down, is how much detail's in it.
Glenn.
It's just funny, and I'm a big fan of Jake's his art. Great guy. I like this one. Stay weird because I don't like it. It's like it hurts my head trying to look at it and make out the picture, and at the same time, I like that it makes me. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's like it. I don't like it because it like I said, it hurts my head trying to look at it and make out what the picture is. So I actually like it because I don't like it. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense.
It's
Shapeshifter.
challenging your aesthetic. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah. Shapeshifter was one of my favorites of the day as well. I've liked a pretty good bit of Elibara's submissions. Hi.
Oh, hi.
She says,
I've sung
continue.
his praises in the past, and I think this is one of his best submissions that I've seen from him. So it kind of sucks it didn't do that. Didn't do better than it did. But this may have been one of his best submissions.
Your comment about it hurts your head. It actually made me, when you said that, it made me jog my memory to think. It reminds me of those like visual teasers where they're like, they do the different two colors and they're like, is it a straight line or is it curving? And you're like, it's curving. And they're like, nope, it's straight. You know, like it definitely
Optical illusions.
There you go. We got the hard science people. Hello.
Hi.
Bye.
All right. Levi, Raven Wolves X-Ray.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much always a fan of Magnus's stuff. It's just I like dark imagery. This one reads a few different ways to me. I mean, it's dark. It almost has kind of native vibes or kind of like tribal vibes in a way.
Yeah.
I could see this on like a death metal album cover. I could see it on a skate deck. You know what I mean? I could see it on a fucking back tattoo. It's just dope. And I like the imagery, the X-ray, and it almost kind of has like a liquid metal type vibe to me as well. The colors are perfect. I mean, it actually looks like an X-ray image is the cool thing. You know what I mean? Like a CAT scan type image, right? instead of just having black on white. It looks like an actual medical image. So I don't know. I think Magnus hardly messes with me, and I just think it's dope. It's something I would rock. Colors are great. Colorway is good.
I appreciate you saying
Definitely
what you
good on
see in
the
it,
colorway.
because I see it a little differently now that you've described it that way.
I mean, you can see it a lot of different ways. It kind of, I mean, you can almost see kind of flames in it, almost kind of feathery. It just depends. I mean, it kind of twists your mind a few different ways. It plays with your mind, so that's cool.
I like the molten metal comment that you made, because
Yeah.
when I look at it, I actually see that, like, because it kind of changes the tone on the edge, like it's still hot in the center, but it's cooling on the edge, almost like lava or something like that. So I hadn't really noticed that before. Adam, talk to us about protectors.
I'm gonna let Glenn go.
Okay. You go.
This actually wasn't one of mine,
What?
but
Oh, it messed up again. That's what I get for trying to watch the Red Wings and make the last edits at the same time. Anyways,
yeah, Elle has left unceremoniously at that. She did not like it, apparently. No, it's cool. Obviously, this kind of blends, right? Like, this is going more towards mythology and everything, and this goes directly against Levi's point against making the Dobermans appear inviting, right? So, yeah, I mean, and this perhaps could be some of what you're referencing earlier in terms of the fatigue. We just got this Doberman one, and it's cool. And so, yeah, maybe the Rottweiler is just like a little bit too similar. I did joke with him back, of course. Yeah, there you go, Matthew. I did joke back with him, of course, like, make it a Bull Terrier, bro. Come on. And yeah, it probably flew like right over his head. He like liked it, but yeah, he was probably like, dude, I don't know what the hell that means. So no, it's cool, but I think this definitely suffered from the design just landing not too long ago, whereas he might have been trying to strike lightning, right, twice, catch lightning. I think that it's probably just a little bit too similar.
and it's not going to show up on this, but the mouth of this one that Clink just shipped, I mean, it is like, you could stick your finger in there and almost get a bite imprint. Like, it's that recessed. It's amazingly built up so that the interior of the mouth is really set back on the surface of the hat. So very impressive 3D stitching on this hat.
I pre-ordered that one. When I got it, it was like jaw dropping. Unboxing it.
Cool. All right. Last call, stuff going in the shop. I didn't have that slide up, or I didn't have the thing up, but you know the drill. If you're watching this show, you know Sunday, right? You got to get your hats in. So I will tell you, Levi, I already pre-ordered the Rose Bowl, so that's in my my list of pre-orders. So I'm looking forward to 6 to 9 months when that shows up at my door. It'll be fun.
Great. Yeah.
Any last comments? I want to thank our guest for sure for sharing his background and insight and talking about collabs and all that kind of stuff. And as you know, as we said before, get them while they're hot. If it's not on a shirt, if it's Levi and West, you can probably get it in their shop. So, and check it out. He's got some new designs coming up.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. And thanks for all the support from all you guys. And really enjoyed being on the show. Sorry I couldn't make it last time. Was a little confused when you reached out, but I was glad that we got a date set and it worked out. So hopefully, I'd love to join again someday. So, but yeah, really kick-ass show, and you guys are awesome. And
Nice.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Glad you enjoyed it.
If I ever get out to Omaha, I'll like shoot you a message and say, let's get lunch or something about that.
Yeah, me, you, and Wes, man. Let's do it.
Okay.
Any of you guys.
Well, if you're still watching, thanks for, I hope you were entertained for 2 hours when we talked about hats and hat design. I'm entertained. That's why I'm doing this. But
I got one thing. To say before you sign us off, if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me. My voice is wonky tonight. Just want to say thank you to everyone You posted last call. We just had last call. Zach and I with Armageddon Hungry, and I just want to thank everybody, the love, support, the sales. Even if you didn't pre-order, that's cool. If you just put up a graphic for us on your story, that kind of thing. Thanks to everybody for the love and support on Armageddon Hungry.
All
Right
right.
on, Glenn.
And we want to thank Levi's young ones for missing out on story time or whatever he had to step out of that he normally does at bedtime. So thanks, everybody, and tune in next week. All right. Shut her down here. Where's my button?